Hi, Morris. This is Avi. I have a couple questions. The first, I acquired your book about how to pay off the mortgage in 5 years. There are some companions diagrams which I could not find. Would appreciate you letting me know where can I access them. That would be the first question. And the second, which I'm sure has many people puzzled, is about scaling. How to scale from one or four or even five properties to as many as possible to reach your freedom number. I know you have touched on this before, but I have to say that it's not so clear because there are many different ways of funding as well as different situations. But I think my basic question is if you need to reach down your pocket and come up with 10, 15, 20% every single time you acquire property, then eventually you won't be able to do this regardless of how deep your pockets are. So if you can assist, if you can enlighten me and others with some strategies, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Avi. So first of all, the question is, what is your freedom number and what are your overall goals? Like making sure you have your freedom number in place. And I would go to our website, go to morrisinvest.com/freedom, download your free freedom cheat sheet. Okay. And then that'll sort of set you on the right path there, figuring out how many properties you need and what is your overall expenses per month. And once you understand that number, then that's a framework, a goal sheet you can put up on your refrigerator and go towards. Maybe it's $6,000 a month for you to be financially free. Maybe it's 4,000, maybe it's 8,000. We've talked to clients all over the country that have different freedom numbers. Some of them I'm shocked. They're like, yeah, $3,000. My family would be financially free. That would cover all of our monthly expenses and everything. And that's a game changer, right? So let me just take, for example, one of our properties that would cash flow about $3,200 a month. Okay. So if you were able to acquire one of these properties by coming out of pocket, down payment, $45,000. Okay. And it's cash flowing, let's say $3,200 a month times 12, that's about $38,000 a year. So $38,000 a year in cash flow. Now, obviously you have expenses and you have a mortgage to pay. So in a short amount of time, by marshaling your resources well and putting those cash flows from those tenants towards not only the mortgage payment you have, but also putting some aside for additional down payment money, you can scale in a shorter amount of time than you think, I believe. Then coupling that with other monies and cash flow that you have coming in from other investments or from your place of employment, et cetera, that you're setting aside, I think you'd be stunned at how quickly you can actually begin to scale. Think about all of the different ways. If you've bought our book, then like what we're teaching you is you cannot eat equity. So imagine, and I've done all of these things. Imagine pulling some from your home equity line of credit, some from your cash flow pile from your tenants, some from retirement account that you have sitting over here. And you kind of mash all of these things together using financing from the banks. That's how you can quickly scale this process. And yes, you might be sitting there for a period after you get to 3 properties where it's going to take you an additional 1.7 years or 2 more years where you're able to then scale and add another 3rd, 4th, or 5th property. That's okay. Again, what are your goals and how quickly can you get there? Can you also find ways to borrow money from different resources, whether you said like Fund and Grow or other private lenders that are available? And I want you to think too, remember I talk about the 3 stages of real estate investing, right? Buy, own, and cash flow. So the first stage is buying. I don't want you to think about the cash flow at all in the beginning. Now, it's obviously, if you're 70 years old, it's a different animal because you want to be able to live off of cash flow. But if you're still earning, you're working, and you're making money right now in those earning years, your family's earning money, then buying is your goal. You're acquiring assets as a tax write-off, as a hedge against inflation. Okay, you're getting these tax benefits through depreciation on your taxes. A lot of people forget about that, and your internal rate of return is high because your tenants are paying down your mortgage every month. Then the second step is buy, and then the second step is own. So once it's paid off, okay, then the third stage is cash flow. That's the third stage. So that should be where you're done working. You just want to be living off the cash flow, maybe 5, 6, 7 years from now. I talked to a gentleman who's a police officer. He wants to retire in 6 years. Once he hits his pension time, he's acquiring properties right now. And his strategy is exactly that. He's pretending like the cash flow doesn't exist. And he's putting that right towards the principal balances, and he's acquiring additional properties using that cash flow. He pretends like he doesn't even have it. And he's taking care of it in that way. So again, there's different strategies, and there's not a one-size-fits-all approach. I've used the home equity line of credit strategy together with my 401k to acquire properties. I've used cash flow from my day job when I worked a 9-to-5 job. I used, I said home equity line of credit. I've used fund and grow money, where I've been able to, if you go to our website at morrisinvest.com/funding, I was able to get up to $170,000 or $180,000 in 0% interest funding that, yes, I had to pay back because it's a line of credit through business credit cards, but then I was able to scale at more quickly because I was able to put those as down payments and then use the cash flow to be able to accelerate that payoff. So there's a number of different ways, to mix this big salad together and make it work. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach here. Anyway, I hope you found that helpful. And Avi, reach out to our team to get you those bonuses that were in the book. Just go to info@morrisinvest.com, and Darla or Kelly on our team can email those spreadsheets over to you. So thank you for the question. And thanks for buying the book. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Just go to morrisinvest.com/Clayton. You can leave us a voicemail question, and we will attempt to answer it here on the show. Try to keep them to about 30 seconds or less if you can. Now, go out there, take action, become a real estate investor. I believe it's the number one way to build wealth. We'll see you next time, everyone.